friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. If you're struggling with pests in the garden and you, like me, do not want to use harmful pesticides, I have good news. Today I want to show how your garden has a built-in pest control system. You just need to activate it. So in this video, I'm sharing exactly which 7 herbs to plant and where to put them to either confuse and deter common pests or attract the predatory insects that eat the bad bugs. No chemicals necessary. The idea that some plants can protect others is as old as gardening itself, and we usually call it companion planting. Many herbs get their amazing aromas from potent essential oils. To us, it's the smell of a summer kitchen. To a lot of insects, though, it can be confusing or just plain gross. These fragrant oils can work in a couple of different ways. So first, they can be kind of a natural camouflage. A pest like a cabbage moth might be hunting for your broccoli by smell, but if that broccoli is nestled next to a fragrant rosemary or thyme plants, it's like trying to find your favorite food court in the middle of a perfume convention. The strong scents can mask the vegetable's natural smell, which encourages the pest to just move on to something that's easier to find. Second, and this is just as important, many of these herbs are absolutely irresistible to beneficial insects, especially when they bolt or flower. Such plants are like 5-star hotels for ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps. These are predators that actively hunt down common pests like aphids, whiteflies, and more. And this is all part of working with nature, so let's get into the 7 essential herbs that will help you do just that. First up is basil. If you're growing tomatoes, someone has probably already told you to grow basil right alongside them, and that's because basil is loaded with aromatic compounds that we find delightful, but many pests, not so much. Pests like aphids and whiteflies who seem to find the scent disorienting. There's also anecdotal evidence that basil's strong fragrance may interfere with the tomato hornworm moth. The theory is that the moth, which lays the eggs that become those giant green caterpillars, has a harder time finding your tomato plants when the air is full of basil. For me, though, I still have a few hornworms that decimate tomato plants every year. I just plant extra. It is what it is. But for the key results to work here, you want to tuck the basil in between your tomato and pepper plants. You don't want to put them as an end cap. This is going to create a much more confusing scent landscape for pests, and you can't beat the bonus, which is the freshest basil possible right when your tomatoes are ripening. And a bonus, let at least one basil plant bolt, aka flower. Bees love it, and you'll enjoy higher pollination rates. Okay, number 2 is chives. It's a hardworking and often underrated member of the onion family. Chives release a mild, oniony scent because of the sulfur compounds that they contain. One of the most famous uses for chives is planting them near roses. It's a timeless pairing, and generations of gardeners believe it helps reduce aphid problems. While the science on this specific partnership is still catching up, it's a trick that has stood the test of time. They also work well when planted near carrots to deter pests. Thankfully, chives are very easy to manage. They grow in neat little clumps and they don't take over a space, so you can plant them right next to other plants. They also make a fantastic edible border around your entire veggie patch. And be sure to let some of them flower. Those puffy blossoms are a magnet for honeybees especially, and other beneficial bugs. Real quick, if you want to go even further with this, we put together a set of done-for-you companion planting garden plans. It contains 10 themed blueprints, things like a sauce maker garden, a salsa garden, a brassica bed, each one laid out with the right plant pairings, proper spacing, and compatible companion plants already figured out for you. It takes the guesswork out of the planning stage. If you want to grab a copy of it, the link is in the description box, or you can comment the word companion, and I'll send you the link to check it out directly. Okay, our third herb is a fragrance powerhouse, but it does come with a very serious warning. So we're talking about mint. The scent of mint is incredibly strong thanks to its high menthol content. And this aroma is fantastic at scrambling a pest's senses. It's often planted to help discourage ants, and its sharp scent can overwhelm other insects too. However, and this is the most important advice I can give you, is you need to plant mint in a container because it sends out aggressive underground runners. So bottom line, it will take over your garden. So grab a big pot, plant your mint in there, and then you can move that pot wherever you need it. You can put it near your cabbage in the fall, or next to your patio chairs, or carry it over to your eggplants in the summer. This keeps its invasive nature in check while still letting you use its pest-confusing aroma right where you need it. Okay, next is the wonderful woody herb rosemary. This Mediterranean native loves full sun and well-drained soil, and its pine-like scent is the key to its helpfulness in the garden. Rosemary is a classic companion for any of your brassicas. That's going to be your, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, and more. It's a powerful fragrance that can help mask the scent of these plants, which makes it more difficult for the cabbage moth to find a good place to lay her eggs. It's also traditionally planted near carrots with the goal of confusing the carrot rust fly, which is also thrown off by its scent. While its effects aren't a guarantee, its presence does create a diverse and confusing environment for insects that are looking for the easiest meal possible. In warmer climates, rosemary can grow into a really big and beautiful shrub, and it looks great all year round, so keep that in mind whenever it comes to placement. It will get big, and it can last all year if you're in a warmer zone. If you're colder zone, I recommend growing it in a pot so you can bring it inside for the winter and revamp it the next season. Okay, number 5 is another Mediterranean herb with a big personality, and that's sage. Love sage. With its soft, fuzzy, grayish-green leaves and its distinct earthy aroma, sage is a staple for both cooking and gardening defense. Just like rosemary, it loves sun and hates being overwatered. And sage is another one of those herbs that's famous for its ability to protect the cabbage family crops and carrots. It's often planted with rosemary, since they like the same growing conditions, to create a multi-layered wall of confusing scents. And when it flowers, sage produces beautiful spikes of purplish blue flowers that are a feast for bees and other pollinators, making your garden an even healthier ecosystem. Okay, next is thyme. This tough, drought-tolerant plant forms a dense, fragrant mat, making it great for weed suppression. Its tiny leaves are packed with thymol, which is a powerful oil that gives it that warm scent. This low-growing habit also makes thyme a great living mulch. You can plant it around the base of bigger plants, like tomatoes, cabbage, and when you brush past it, it releases its scent, which can help confuse pests that are foraging near the ground. Gardeners often plant it with the goal of deterring cabbage worms, and it also seems to deter whiteflies too, which attack just about every garden vegetable there is. They don't really discriminate. So letting your thyme flower is another big win because it produces clusters of tiny pink or purple flowers to feed beneficial insects, especially pollinators. Overall, creeping thyme especially is a tough, low-maintenance herb that does a ton of great jobs in the garden. Love it. Okay, our final herb is dill, which plays a slightly different but still very important role. While its feathery foliage might offer some pest confusion, its real benefit comes when it bolts, and it becomes a landing pad for a ton of good bugs. So think of dill not as a repeller, but as a recruiter. When dill is allowed to bolt and produce its really big umbrella-like yellow flowers, it becomes one of the best plants for attracting beneficial insects. These flowers are the preferred food source for ladybugs, lacewings, and several types of parasitic wasps, which is important because these are the natural predators of the most common and annoying garden pest. Ladybugs and their larvae devour aphids. Lacewing larvae are voracious hunters of aphids and mites, and then you have parasitic wasps, which lay their eggs inside caterpillars, destroying them from the inside out. Kind of gross, but also kind of cool. By planting dill and letting it flower, you're basically setting up a buffet for your garden's good guys. One word of caution, though, dill is in the carrot family, surprisingly, so avoid planting it near carrots. So there you have it, 7 powerful herbs to help you build a more resilient and chemical-free garden. We have basil, which is your tomato's best friend. Chives are pretty much everyone's settle protector. Mint is the potted bodyguard that you can tote around to wherever it's needed. Rosemary, sage, and thyme all work together to create a wall of confusing scents, and dill, once it has flowered, is the ultimate recruiter for your garden's good guys. By planting even a few of these, you can start masking the scent of your vulnerable plants and inviting in a team of beneficial predators. While they won't make your bad bugs disappear forever from your garden completely, they will help it create a balanced ecosystem to help keep them in check. That's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!